What's up YouTube? Vintage Yu-Gi-Oh here today with part 2 of the 3-part PSA card series. This video will cover 75 through 26 on my list of most expensive PSA graded Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So we'll get right into it. With number 75, CRU from Dark Duel Stories. Really cool looking dragon. Always been one of my favorite cards. A really underrated card in my book. And I value this around $110. Coming in at 74, really iconic card from Magic Ruler, Mystical Space Typhoon, Gem Mint 10. I really like the artwork on this card as well, and it was a really usable card back in the day, so there's not too many Gem Mints laying around anymore. And I value that at around $115. Coming in at 73, we have a first print, first edition polymerization from LOB. Again, another really iconic card, and I give that a value of around $125. Next, at 72, we have a Mechanical Chaser from Tournament Pack 1. This card was really highly sought after because the attack of 1850 was the highest attack for a long time. It's only a near mint 7, but just to get your hands on one of these copies raw is over $100, so I'd give this pretty much a raw value of $125. Coming in at 71, we have a Blue Eyes White Dragon Starter Deck Kaiba First Edition near mint 8. This is the iconic anime artwork, really sought after by collectors, and hope to get a 10 eventually, but an 8 will have to suffice for now, so I give this a value of around $125 as well. Coming in at 70, we have Guy the Dragon Champion, LOB First Edition, mint 9. And at 69, we have its counterpart in LOB, Trial Dragon First Edition, mint 9 as well. And I give both of these a value of around $125, maybe a little more. Coming in at 68 and 67, I have 2 of the 3 Game Boy Advance Secret Rare God Card promos, both mint 9. These cards are really sought after as well, and I give them a value of around $120, $125 each. Coming in at 66, Joey's iconic Time Wizard. He used this a lot to get out some pinches in the anime, so it's a really iconic sought after card, mint 9 from Metal Raiders, and I give this a value of around $125. And then another unlimited card making the list is a Blue Eyes White Dragon LOB, Gem Mint 10, and I give it a value of around $125 just because there are collectors that collect the unlimited cards, and it's a really nice card, especially if you can't afford a first edition Gem Mint 10 Blue Eyes White Dragon from LOB. So coming in at 64, we have Serpent Knight Dragon from Magic Ruler. I've always had a soft spot for this card. This card was involved in my first trade. I pulled this card and then traded it for a Barrel Dragon, so I've always really enjoyed this card, and I give it a value of around $125 as well. 63, a mint 9 Mirror Force First Edition. I mean, I think about everyone has had a copy of this card at one point, and it's really nice to own a mint 9, and I have a Gem Mint 10 that'll be farther up the list. And just a really iconic collectible card, so I give it a value around $125 as well. Then coming in at 62, Anti-Regeki from Tournament Pack 3, Super Rare, Gem Mint 10. And at one point, it was a Population 1. I'm not sure anymore, so there's nothing to base this value on other than what I think someone could or would pay. And I think to the right guy, it'd be worth around $125 as well. Next, we have another Tournament Pack Ultra Rare, Royal Decree, Tournament Pack 4, Mint 9. Raw cards of this go around $60 to $80, so I figure in Mint 9 form it should be worth around $130 to $150. Next up, 60, 59, and 58, we have the GBI Ultra Rare God cards, all in Gem Mint 10 condition. These are obviously really collectible along with their secret rare counterparts. And I give a value of around $130 to $150 each on each of those. Coming in at 57, Winged Dragon of Ra from Dawn of Destiny. I've never really seen this for sale, so I could be a little high on this one. I give it a value of around $145, but it could easily be less and easily be more. Like I said, I've never really seen these for sale, so depending on how bad someone wanted it, it might go up or go down. Coming in at 56, Forbidden Memories, Harpy's Pet Dragon, Gem Mint 10. Really iconic My Valentine card from the anime. Beautiful looking card with a prismatic effect, and I give this a value of around $150. And from the same video game, we have Red Eye's Black Metal Dragon. Again, a really cool looking card. Gem Mint 10, of course, and I give this a value of around $150 as well. Then we have coming in at 54 an Upside Down Right Arm of the Forbidden One, Mint 9. And I've thought about cracking it open and getting it graded by PSA, but I figured because of the mist slab, it might be worth more just because it's upside down like this, and I give it, graded as a 9, a value of around $165. Next, we have another Tournament Pack Ultra Rare, Needleworm, Near Mint 8. These things have really skyrocketed recently. I bought this for $50 3-4 months ago, and then they just skyrocketed to about $200 raw. So I'd give this a value of around anywhere between $150 and $200 for this. And then one of my favorite cards coming in at 52, Barrel Dragon, and I actually have 3 copies in Gem Mint 10 form of Barrel Dragon. So obviously you can tell it's one of my favorite cards. And like I said, it was part of that trade with Serpent Night Dragon, so I've always had a soft spot for those 2 cards. And I give a value of each of those around $165. Coming in at 51, Solemn Judgment, Gem Mint 10, Metal Raiders. And for a long time, this was really low population, like 1 or maybe 2 or 3. And I had 2 of them at one point, and I sold 1 of them and still have 1. And I'd give this a value of around $175. All right, number 50, we have the iconic Regeki LOB First Edition Gem Mint 10. This card is still very, very valuable and been reprinted a lot. And from LOB Gem Mint 10, I give this a value of $200. Coming in at 49, I have a left leg of the Forbidden One first print. As you can see, the card's a little darker and the foil's a little wavier. And I give this a value of around $175, $200 if someone's really into collecting the first print, first edition from LOB. And then we have an Yugioh Dark Dual Stories Gem Mint 10 Prismatic Effect. It's probably my favorite version of the Yugioh head. And I give this a value of close to $200 as well. Coming in at 47, we have Blue Eyes Toon Dragon from Magic Ruler. First edition Gem Mint 10. This artwork has slowly grown on me. I didn't used to like it, but now I do like it more than I used to. And I give it a value of around $200. Next we have a first print Blue Eyes White Dragon Near Mint 8. First edition from LOB. And I give this a value of around $200, $225 just because it is a first print, and I personally like the foils, the wavy foils in the first print, so I value that at around $200 and $225. Coming in at 45, the iconic Gate Guardian from Metal Raiders First Edition Gem Mint 10. And I give this a value of around $200 to $225 as well. Coming in at 44, Guy the Fierce Knight Gem Mint 10. Probably the least sought after LOB Ultra Rare, but still an LOB Ultra Rare, so I give it a value between $200 and $225 on a good day. Coming in at 43, one of my favorite Metal Raiders cards, and there are a lot of good Metal Raiders cards, is Change of Heart Ultra Rare First Edition Gem Mint 10. And I'll give this a value of around $200 to $225 as well. And then here's a card that I've never really seen for sale, so it's hard to put a value on it. There are more 9s and 10s because the centering in LOD was just notoriously bad. So Injection Fairy Lily, Gem Mint 10, First Edition. If I were to try to sell it, I'd put a price tag of around $225 on it. And then this card has really skyrocketed lately. And then it's kind of came back down to earth here over the last few weeks. Harpy's Pet Dragon, Retro Pack 2, Gem Mint, graded by BGS. And I bought it for like $35, but if I were to resell it now, I'd probably try to get $225 or so. So coming in at number 40, we had the 9 and now we have the Gem Mint 10 Time Wizard. So centering was a little better on this card, so I think that's why it got a 10. And I value this 10 at around $240. Then back to a 9, we have a Red Eyes B-Dragon LOB First Edition, and Joey's most iconic card for sure, and I value this even as at a 9 around $250. Then we have a few Metal Raiders cards here. We have Summon Skull, Gem Mint 10, First Edition, and I value this at around $250 as well. And when you put Red Eyes and Summon Skull together, you get B Skull Dragon, Metal Raiders, Gem Mint 10, First Edition. And I value this. I think it went down and now it's kind of back up again. I value it around $250 to $260. And then probably the most iconic Metal Raiders Ultra Rare Mirror Force. We had the 9, now we have the 10. And I give this a value of around $265 as well. Then we have a few LOB first print cards coming up. Yugioh the Forbidden One Head, First Edition, Mint 9. You can see the title's low and it's just a darker looking card. As a Mint 9 first print, First Edition, I give this a value of around $265. Coming in at 34, we have a first print Dark Magician, Mint 9. You can see the wavy foil. And I give this a value of around $265 as well. And then 33, 32, and 31. We saw the ultras earlier, and now we have the secret rare Gem Mint 10 GBI God card set. And I value each of those at around $275 each. We had a 7 and now we have a 9 mechanical chaser, and I hope to get a 10 on my next submission on another one. And I value this Tournament Pack 1 mechanical chaser Mint 9 at around $275. And here we have a really iconic card from Magician's Force, Dark Magician Girl, first edition, Mint 9. Just a little off-centered besides that flawless card, and I give this a value of between $275 and $300. And that was number 29. 28, another really iconic card from Invasion of Chaos, Dark Magician of Chaos, Gem Mint 10, first edition. You don't see this card for sale too often, so it could vary a lot on pricing, but I'd give a good solid price of around $300 for that. Coming in at 27, Thousand Dragon. So Gate Guardians, counterpart of Secret Rare and Metal Raiders. First edition Gem Mint 10. Really beautiful looking card. And I give it a value of around $325. And lastly, in this video, 76 through 26, number 26, we have a Gaia the Dragon Champion LOB first edition from Gem Mint 10 from Legend of Blue Eyes, and I give this a conservative value of $325. So this is part 2 of 3 videos, and part 3 of 3 will be 25 through 1, and I hope you enjoyed and subscribe, and look forward to reading your comments. So thanks for watching.